lovely people, as you can already tell, this video does look a little bit different to my usual videos. Usually I'm talking while things are happening, but I just took a very little footage of what was actually happening, and there's a lot of like stories in between that I kind of want to tell. So I've got my little trusty notebook, the one that I actually, when I went to New York, bought this one and wrote my letter to Taylor Swift. So already, starting with the stories. Story time with Ruby, I guess. If you know me in person, you know that I always have story time with Ruby. I have, I don't know, the random things that happen, and I always do that. All right, let's get into the video. So starting off with the morning of, I had a midday flight that day, and also I was pretty tired that morning because I had a pretty late night with a friend because I was saying my last goodbyes to her. My host mom that I had, she had also booked herself a flight because I had apparently triggered her because I was getting out of the US and she can't. Those are her words that she had literally said to me about 3 weeks prior to me leaving America. Airing her dirty laundry a little bit, but not sorry. So I was a little bit stressed because I might have to then get a lift with her, but she likes to leave late for flights because she can go through the fancy security while I have to go through the long queue security. So I was umming and ahhing about maybe trying to get another friend to take me, but she wasn't able to because she had lab work to do that day, so it wasn't possible. And I didn't really have like money for an Uber, a $50 Uber to the airport, and also buses just was not an option either that day. I'm just charging my last few things, and I finally decide that I will just catch a lift with her and her boyfriend when they go to the airport. And anyway, we get to the airport, all great. I get my bags checked in. Weight is just fine. I was worried about that. And then I get my last photos with them, and I say goodbye, and I go through what basically was my last security in America.
I'm running out of storage apparently. Okay, so I am in security right now. This is crazy. Last time I do a US security call midget thing, so let's do this.
As I half guessed, one of my bags gets pulled aside because it's noticeably heavy and there's a lot of things that I've like squished into this bag. So I understand, they open it, they have a look, they see that there's a bunch of wires within like a metal piggy bank, you could say. And anyway, they just do like a little like magnet type thing, and they have a look, and I'm like, don't worry, I'll just open it because I'm like, my USBs are in there. Please don't break them because you broke them once before. That's a story for another day. Like, yeah, have a look, great, everything's great. And then I have to now repack my bag, squish everything in, and I'm like, I actually don't know what the time is. Like, for some reason, time has run away from me at this time. And I walked my way down to my gate that was going to fly me to New York.
Yeah, I'm now boarding. Like, I got flagged by security with both my bags. Great, but we're good.
As I get there, they've started boarding the plane. That has never happened to my life, where I've gotten to my gate and they've started boarding. So I like freak out a little bit, but I'm on the plane. Everything's fine. So my flight from Nashville to New York is pretty short compared to my flight that I was going to catch next. And anyway, I had my book in hand. Just remember that book, guys. Just remember it. I got my apple juice that I love to get on planes because you get like a giant thing of apple juice versus like if you ask for, I don't know, water or something and they give you like this little cup. So did my last time of that little fancy airport trick. So yeah, I land. I'm now sitting in my window seat, and I actually can see out the window my bags leave the airplane and getting moved to the next flight. And then I have to get onto like a bus or a shuttle to get taken to the actual main part of the airport. I now get there and I start to wonder, oh my goodness.
I'm now like kind of low-key worried that I was
because when I came to America, I had to transfer my bags from the airplane that landed me in Newark to the one that I would be getting on to San Francisco at that time. So I just asked one of the guys here, like, I've already got to the terminal, so it was kind of in a sense too late at the same time. But anyway, they reassured me that everything will be okay. And now I have more or less a 3-hour layover. Now in this time, I'm getting tired. The plan was, I actually wanted food, but I was like, hey, I gotta save those dollars still. Like, I'm gonna get food on the plane. But also the plan was I was gonna go get Starbucks, my last Starbucks in America. And for whatever reason, I sat there and forgot about Starbucks. Don't know how I did that. Rains. It's like literally shutting down right now. Like, I can't even think anymore.
That's why I like the backpack. I get tired a lot.
Like, I did not sleep well last night, so I'm working with like my brain cells right now. So I'm gonna hopefully I sleep. I just sat there, waited for 3 hours to pass. And then finally they call us to get on the airplane, and it's a long queue. Obviously there's so many people getting on this airplane. Anyway, I'm standing in line. I get to the front. They scan my ticket. They scan my passport. And then they also just scan your face. Like, there was no stamping me out of the country. That was my form of, okay, goodbye, basically. And I thought that was so weird. Anyway, I walked down the fabulous aisle of the airplane, and I get to my beautiful window seat, and I'm sitting there, hoping and praying that there's not going to be another person next to me, because there is a person further on the other side, on the aisle seat, but like nobody's in the middle. I'm on the airplane. My beautiful window seat. There were like tinted windows, which is pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, excited, very excited. I'm praying there's no person that's sitting next to me in the middle seat. There is a guy further, but it'd be nice if nobody comes. Unfortunately, a man sits down, the most fidgety person you could meet. Okay, no, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but he moved around a lot during this flight. It was slightly bothering, but I was probably similar. His family was actually sitting in the row in front of us, so obviously he just booked like the next seat he could. But anyway, all good. And we leave the country. We're flying off from Newark, and now it's my 15-hour flight to Cape Town. So the plan was obviously just to sleep as much as possible to pass the time. And yeah, so I read a little bit, and I was like, oh my word, I've like, because this book I read a long time ago, and someone had just gifted me like the hardcover version. Remember the book. I was talking to my dad as well, talking about my percentages, because I like to give him my location, because it was kind of fun for him just to see where I was at all the time. He wasn't able to see my percentage on my phone and where I was at, so for fun I was giving him updates on my phone battery, my portable charger battery, and my headphone battery, because I was like, these things are my babies for the next 15 hours. Like, this is how I'm going to get through with my headphones on. And yeah, so I did. Luckily, I was able to sleep a lot of the flight, but I did wake up now and again. And then I would look out the window, look at the map that, you get on the back of the person's chair that sits in front of you. Took a few photos and stuff of it, and it was like all very exciting to see that I was at the corner of South America. What was really cool to me was the windows of the airplane. They had like UV protectors, kind of like sunglasses vibes. So like when you look out the window, it was kind of like red. I'm guessing that was just because like people are sleeping and stuff, and they try and keep it dark in there. So yeah, we got food. Obviously, ate that. It's airplane food. It's only as good as it can be. Slept some more, woke up again, got more food from them. Fabulous. There was also another time that we got food on the plane. I might have, obviously my timeline is a little bit wonky of that 15-hour flight, but we got 3 times of food, apparently. The next thing I woke up and I see that, oh my goodness, like we're almost there. Like, love the American accent that comes through every so often. Unfortunately, my R's are still there and weird sounding. But I think my accent has come back. We don't know. Nobody has told me. But yeah, suddenly home. I can now, like, the airplane picture is getting pretty close to the point of Southern Africa there near Cape Town. And now, like, the UV on the window things move away, so now I can get like proper videos of out the window. We're getting super close. Here's a little video of like how I was feeling then. I just had breakfast at lunchtime technically, so I'm really tired. Very, very tired. I just want to get on with it. 52 minutes to plan. So obviously I started taking lots of pictures and videos now that I can see properly out the window. And then, of course, we find out, buckle your seatbelts, put up the tray thing, we're about to land. And obviously that's my hint to be like, let's stick my phone to the window and get a time lapse of us landing in Africa. What was so funny during that time lapse actually was that there was a family behind me. Didn't hear a peep from them almost the whole flight, but this was like the most funniest thing I hear from behind me. Oh my word, Mom! Look, there's a volcano! And then they look out the window, there's a bit of a pause. Oh my word, that's such a cool volcano. None of them realized it was Table Mountain, the most famous mountain in practically Africa, besides Kilimanjaro. We're not okay, in South Africa. So we land, I get off the plane. It's like, I think it was morning at the time. I don't even know. There was sun. There was sun. Basically, I get off and I literally, the first two people that I see that was not on a plane with me is the two people who obviously had moved the plane. And I look at them. They're very obviously South African to me. I was so excited that I literally have a bright smile that like shines across my face. I was so excited. And they also start speaking. I hear the South African accent. I'm so excited.
Okay, guys. I am back. We made it.
I hop on a bus. They take us to like the actual airport itself because they parked the airplane away from the airport, which my auntie thought that was a bit strange, but nothing new to me with America. Anyway, I get to border control. I decide, no, it's fine. There's a long queue. I'm going to go to the bathroom first. I get in the queue and I see a little bit behind me in this queue now that there is a very famous Olympian down the line. Natalie Detroit. Now, she's been in the Olympics a few times, which is really, really awesome, but I did not have the guts to be like, hi! Because I feel like she was super tired. I was super tired. I just took a really blurred photo of her. Sorry, Natalie. I feel like it happens to you all the time. Yeah, I went through border control. They stamped me in or scanned me in. They didn't stamp me in. I go and get my bags. This is still by myself. This is like, oh my goodness. I am back in South Africa where you have to go collect your bags yourself. I've forgotten about that actually. I had put my book and my bag on one of these trolley things. So I like booked one or whatever you want to call it. I put my stuff down. Now it's somewhere in my brain. I go, oh yeah, I've put my bag and my book down. There's a voice in my head that has told me to go do that. And I go off to like a gap where nobody is standing to collect their bags. I get my bags, my stuff, and bring it to like where I am. And for whatever reason, I only pick up my bag. I leave the book behind. You know, the book I keep reminding you about? Yeah, I needed to remind myself. I'm so sad about this because somebody has given this to me. It was actually that friend that I had seen that night, my last night in America. I leave that behind. I don't realize yet. I walk out and I see like there's other bags that have been collected there as well, like through this like little hallway. And those are probably like your like extra security type bags or whatever, you know, guns that walk through the doors. And I see my aunt there and I'm like super excited. I give her a big wave with all my stuff. And yeah, I pose for a photo and then I go around, give them a great big hug. with my heavy bags, and I then get in the car with them and they take me home, and I just have the most amazing sleep. I then wake up that morning. My cousin's actually coming to visit, and my second cousin's coming to visit. I give them a great big hug and say hello. It was 7 a.m., okay? I like shot out of bed. I'm still so tired. The time difference is still not working. I mean, obviously I've just landed. And I get all my stuff together again. My cousin's husband actually takes us to the airport I've still got a journey to get home. We get to the airport and I need to go drop off my ginormous bags for the flight. And we found out that only one big bag had been booked. So we just had to buy another one, which is like 250 Rand, which is like, I don't know, $18. Maths. I've forgotten about dollars. Everything's a-okay with my ginormous heavy bag that that pulled me aside in America. That shows the difference, by the way. And yeah, then I have to wait for my flight with my aunt and uncle because we're flying together basically. And then I think they were up in first class, or like you can't really have first class with this type of airplane, but they were in the front, in the more like fancier feeling seats. I think. I'm not sure though. Like I've got an aisle seat and I sit down. Great. And the moment I think I'm allowed to pull down that tray table after taking off, I put my head down and I fall asleep for 40 minutes of an hour and a half flight. I think I slept a little bit more than that, but like proper sleep, 40 minutes.
I just realized I took a nap for like an hour.
We land. We get off the plane. I have my things. Now, one of my big bags, unfortunately, the zip, I knew this was coming. It was like a cheap buy bag that I just needed quickly. The zip had broken through this flight, and I was like, okay, cool, that happened, that's fine. I just needed it to get me this far. We go off to go rent a car, and a little bit of time there sitting and waiting. I'm like trying to focus on my life, but you know, I'm doing pretty well. We get in this little car and we drive off, and I get to see my family for the first time, especially, well, I don't get to see my sister just yet, but I see my dad, and I'm like so happy. I give him a great big hug. The last time I had seen him was about 6 months ago, I think it was, more or less, because he came to visit me in America. So sweet of him, along with also my mom. We get back in the car and stuff, and we like move my bags across to my dad's car. Yeah, then we drive back to the place that we're staying, and I finally get to see my sister after almost 2 years, and I meet her now fiance, because like literally she was single when I left for America. Fun fact. I come back to her having a fiance. I think that makes sense. I give my sister a great big hug. So happy to see her, happy to meet her new fiance. I can't remember the exact like how many days. I think it was 4 days later. I had to attend a funeral. That was kind of like the main reason I was like trying to get back in a certain amount of time, was for this funeral. It was my granny's funeral. Yeah, a day or two later, we leave, and now it's a big 3-hour drive back to my city, back home, real home. My mom had set up my room all nice and neatly for me, so excited, and I literally was like, thank you so much, Mom, and just fell flat in my bed. I was like so happy just to be in this room that I practically grew up in, but had missed for almost 2 years. Yeah, that was basically my trip in getting back home. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye!